and he threw some stuff at me. He said he was talking to a guy, and the guy broke down the 5 phases of Airbnb shutdowns and how they come at your cities, come at your city. And I was like, oh man! So he broke it down. He goes, let me pull it up. He said this is how they shut down Airbnbs, and this is how you can kind of. He said, but you can bounce back from it.
Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello, hello, hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode of
Live,
Let, Thrive. Man. It's been a good week. How's things been going on your end, Steve?
Doing all right. We are Live, Let, Thrive, the very finest of podcasts that deal with short-term rentals, Airbnb, VRBO, ETC, all that stuff.
Share economy.
And we are back in effect. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir, we are, man. And we got a pile of notes here to go over, man. We got a lot of stuff's happened in the last week, 2 weeks, and man, you just got back from LA?
Well, I just got back from LA. Yes. And I see your Lakers keychain right there.
Yes, sir.
And they were definitely in town playing while we were there, and the traffic, could show for it.
Is it like Dallas traffic?
Oh God!
Worse?
I wish it was like Dallas traffic.
That's bad.
There's no escaping LA traffic. It's like this octopus with tentacles everywhere in every street in every direction. There's no escaping it.
Really?
At least Dallas. I mean, you could go around a little bit or go down, up and under. I mean, there's a little bit of hope, right?
Yeah.
There's no hope in LA. There's none. The maps pretty much, you open up the maps and they pretty much tell you, oh, you're screwed.
You're screwed.
You ain't getting there.
So be for you, bruh.
So yeah, I went to Los Angeles. I was there for a week. From last Wednesday till Monday. Okay. And my wife had a makeup esthetician convention and stuff, dope. And so for the weekend, so I said, well, we'll go a couple of days early, enjoy the city a little bit.
Yeah.
Little did I know Armageddon was going to happen that same week with the night we got there. That was, I believe it was that night, was the Thousand Oaks shootings, where they shot up that country bar in Thousand Oaks, which is about 40 minutes away from LA proper. And so that was happening. And then it's, of course, wall-to-wall news of all the fires that are just going crazy over there. It's still going crazy, I mean, I hope everybody's okay. I mean, I know there's been some fatalities and stuff, but it's yeah, dude, it was like smoky and hazy all the time we were there.
Really?
And I just figured it was LA smog at first, and then I was like, and they were saying about the fires are getting out of control. And yeah, I mean, we went to the Griffith Observatory up top, to see the whole city, and then see the LA the Hollywood sign and all that. Mm-hmm. And when we watched the sunset there, and it just kind of disappeared into that smoky haze, man. It was crazy. Yeah, it was surreal. And so we made the most of it. I did put in the show notes that LA is kind of a shithole, but I mean that in a loving way.
So why do you say that? Why is LA a shithole?
Not to offend any of my our LA fans out there. It's man, I used to go out that way a few years back, about 5-6 years ago, and it was fun. I had friends out there. We'd go hang out and stuff like that. And I guess I do see it through different eyes also, because we went with a baby.
Okay.
This time.
Oh, okay.
As a single dude, maybe I would have saw it different. I'll go to the bars and the clubs, and there's always live music every night. There's always something to do in LA. Yeah. But as a dad, driving a minivan around the city with the baby in the back and all these crazy cars doing all their crazy stuff,
Oh, yeah.
It was very frustrating. It was very nerve-wracking. And plus, and just going to every spot, and there's not one damn parking spot in the whole city. You go somewhere to go park.
Yeah.
All you see is towaway zone everywhere if you find a spot, or you have to pay like $20 to park somewhere.
Really?
Or and you can't even find a meter because all the meters are taken. I mean, it's just like there's nowhere to park, and it's the traffic out the ass.
Oh,
and when I was there, it was that had bad air quality because of the fires. So, but that didn't help the situation. And there's a lot of homeless people hitting you up everywhere you go. You go to McDonald's and they hit you up. You go to get gas, they hit you up. It's like I guess you gotta get used to that kind of living in that environment,
Yeah.
But no, we made the most of it. It was an okay trip.
So you gotta have LA. Gotta be just you and the wife, or you solo, huh?
Yeah, like
so you can Uber everywhere.
Go. No. That next time I was thinking not even renting a car, just Ubering it.
Yeah, you gotta Uber it.
Because if you're gonna drive somewhere, but you have to pay $20 to park anyways, what's the point of having a car? You might as well just Uber. Right?
Yeah.
So
more share economy news.
Yeah, more share economy news. So so that was our little trip to LA. This is episode 71 to reiterate. And we, we're back to talk more shop, and we've got topics this time. I think the episode I just loaded up, and of course, if you're listening to this one, you've already heard 70 and 69, but 68 I just loaded up, so we got some in the backlog, and that was the one that was on night we did 2 recordings, and the second recording we started hitting the rum a little bit. So we might have wandered off base a little bit more than usual. So, as Jerome pointed out, Jerome in the house, and so I mean it was a good episode, but it was just some of the words I couldn't say them too good because I had a little bit of that rum in me. So apologize for episode 68 and any others that we drank rum on. So that's how you been, man.
Man, dude, a lot of stuff going on. Looking for a new property to buy. I think the market's leveling out, so that's about it. Been doing that. The family left me today. They went off to our home state, Oregon and Washington.
Oh, nice.
So I may make a surprise trip up there. Go up there, surprise them. They don't know if it's possible. I might. Went to a wedding in Austin. Austin's another overcrowded city. One freeway in, one freeway out. But that's about it, man. And then I'm heading out of town next week. So, that's about it for me. And then just dealing with the whole Arlington shutdown, So, coming up with a plan for that. But
the Arlington ban, Airbnb ban.
Yeah, but it seems like quite a few hosts are jumping ship. I've seen a few houses for sale from people that go to our meetups. They posted their houses for sale. They're jumping ship. So, which could be a good thing for us. We could start grabbing them up,
And you want to just, we'll hit this topic real quickly. Because, I don't like, I guess, sometimes we dive heavy into like our local political situation with the Airbnbs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, but we'll cover it because this is kind of like a broader thing too. What's happening in Arlington is they want to ban it, and make you have to everybody apply, like spend $1,000 and apply for a SUP, a SUP.
Special use permit. Something like that.
For you to use your house as an Airbnb, and you could be like waiting for 6 months to get a response from them because you know how the city is, and they could eventually say no and keep your $1,000, which is BS, whatever. And anyways, What's weird about the Arlington situation? What's different than even like I will say left-leaning, more liberal places like Los Angeles or San Francisco or New York, or I wouldn't say New York, but those spots that they really strict on Airbnbs, but they still allow you to do home shares. It's crazy. And those are the most left-leaning liberal places that that you would think would want to take away your property or control more of your property, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Just to generalize, sorry if I offend anybody, but you would think that places like that would be more strict than Arlington, but Arlington wants to take away the right to even rent a room out of your house, and that's messed up. That's getting into your home, home.
That's where I have several not really gripes. I don't think they can enforce it, and they're going to run into a situation like Colorado when they tried to say that, and they ran into a heap of trouble because hey, if you live there, you can't control who that person has at their house. That's one thing I think Arlington hasn't realized yet, because it seems like the Arlington group, it seems like the home share hosts and the remote hosts are trying to be on the same side, but the home share hosts kind of got to take a little bit of a back seat because you're in a different category than them.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think people are, and that's why I like the home share hosts. I'm like, man, you really should just take a back seat because you're in a totally different position than them. If they come for you, you have a whole bunch of ammunition you can throw at them. Remote hosts, they can throw a little bit of ammunition. We pay taxes and stuff like that. But, like, literally what you're telling me is you're telling me who I can and can't have at my house, meaning if I have to get a SUP, that means everyone in the city of Arlington has to get one because you're telling them past midnight you've just rented out your place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just rented out your place. So that means mom and pops can't roll over for Thanksgiving dinner and stay the night. They better take their ass home unless you got that SUP telling me that you bargained, rented a room out to them, So that's why I wasn't worried about that. I don't think they can. Well, they can't enforce that. They cannot tell you who you can have at your house while you're on the property, And if they would, I'll be sure to. All those people who are sitting in red, I'll be sure to go back through the video, grab all their addresses, and we'll be watching during Thanksgiving. If they have their brothers and sisters over staying the night, hey, we're going to knock on some doors. Hey, bro, your mom and dad got to go. It's almost 11:45, man. They got to go.
Get this up out of here.
Yeah, you ain't got no SUP. You ain't applied for one. Get up out of here, So that ain't going to happen. That's what I'm telling people. The remote host, you have to partner with them, but know your fight is a little bit different than the remote host. Because every single complaint that the Red had was about all these people are coming in, they don't live here, and which I kind of understood. But me, I'm not against remote hosting. Most of my properties are remote, so I understood what they were coming at.
As more of a business, if you're just buying a house to rent out on Airbnb, I can see it as that. But as far as like a little old lady rents a couple of rooms out of her house to make ends meet to buy her damn expensive ass drugs and shit, that's not. I don't think that's hurting nobody. Especially she's there, they ain't gonna be partying while the old lady's there. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that gets rid of their party house argument right then and there. Because we'll be there at our houses and renting out the rooms and then showing people around the city. Yes. And I think that's a way different thing than just buying up the whole block and Airbnb in every house. Yeah,
and then like even if I was on the Arlington website today and they said if you want to rent out a part of your house. See, that's where I'm already like I said, wait till they see what their enforcements are because they can't enforce that. Because I will go up to the city council and tell them, I hope all your asses got a SUP, because that means your kids can't spend the night. If they come home for college, they can't stay the night at your house. That's called a short-term rental. It's under 30 days. So they can't enforce that. That's why those cities who say, hey, you can do home share, because they can't enforce it. That means everybody in the city has to get one. So I'm not worried about that, but there is like a fine line between home share hosts and remote hosts, and I think
there's a big fat line.
It's a big fat line.
There's a big fat line.
That's true, a big fat line. So that's why I was like, a few people told me they were home share hosts and were up there trying to fight. I'm like, might want to take a back seat. I don't think you have anything to worry about. They can't. That's why I said they can't enforce anything on home share hosts. But I was talking to my boy Josh today, and he threw some stuff at me. He said he was talking to a guy. And the guy broke down the 5 phases of Airbnb shutdowns and how they come at your cities, come at your city. And I was like, oh man! So he broke it down. He goes, let me pull it up. He said this is how they shut down Airbnbs, and this is how you can he said, but you can bounce back from it. He goes, the first phase is no presence. This is the phase where the city has unregulated laws and the people are starting traction. I mean, it's only a few Airbnbs, right? Then you have the second phase, which is emergence. People are seeing the benefit of Airbnb, and few listings are starting to pop up. So Now you see the surge. Airbnbs start to pop up on the regular. In this phase, you begin to get a few irresponsible hosts that receive noise complaints. So that's the surge of it. This is the fourth phase. Now it's on fire. It's too many people. Too many people are getting Airbnbs, and now complexes, neighbors are getting frustrated with the amount of guests traveling in. News and media steps in, and city councils begin. This is the fifth phase, the meltdown phase. This is the phase that Arlington's in. The city steps in, and they enforce a ordinance or regulation to stop Airbnbs or short-term rentals in the city. Now, what happens is in this phase, the city can now reset back to phase 2, 3, and 4. It depends on what kind of ordinance happens. So what happens is they're going to push an ordinance out there. Like right now it's $1,000, which I think the home share thing, that ain't going to work. We ain't paying, $1,000 to have people in our house. What happens is now we can now revert back to the emergence, the surge, and the on fire phase. So what it's going to do, it's going to start creating more responsible hosts. Because that's all they want. They just want some responsible hosts so these people in the red shut the hell up. So, I'm serious. That's really what they want.
And they want the people to pay the hot tax.
Yeah, they want people to pay the hot taxes. So
that's hotel occupancy taxes for y'all out there.
So those are the 5 phases that it comes in. They said every city, they're usually going to revert back to like a 3 to the 3, where just a few are popping up, because, or people, what they don't want to happen is for short-term rentals to become a black market in your city. That's where they like, oh shit, we can't control it,
Fort Worth?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Fort Worth is. It's an Airbnb black market, a short-term rental black market. So, so it's those 5 phases that it comes in, and it's really interesting because I was like, wow, that's really cool how someone took the time to break that down. I definitely see that Arlington is in the 5th phase, but they're going, and I think it happens with all cities. They go a little bit too strict because they're not used to it, and they see what strict's going to bring. But I truly think that the home share hosts, we have nothing to worry about. They can't enforce that.
I forgot who said that. Was it JJ? Was it one of those that from the group that said something about he overheard the council people chatting, saying that we'd rather go real strict at first, and then as time goes by, ease off a little bit. That's what he said. He overheard them saying something like that, which he doesn't like. He's, of course, we don't like.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that $1,000 fee is going to hurt. That's going to cancel out half the people wanting to do it anyways.
That's the goal. See, like if you look back at the 5 phases, that's the goal. You're going to all that's going to do is create a black market, and then the people that do it, like the people that don't do short-term rentals underground, those people who follow the rules, they're going to be the baseline. Then you're going to have people doing it underground and things like that. So no matter what they do, man, I mean, if you're a remote host, I'd be very concerned. I think you should be the head of the pack fighting if you're a remote host.
Right. Yeah.
Home share hosts,
lay back in the cut.
Yeah, lay back in the cut. I mean, you don't have anything to worry about. They can, even if they do enforce, like, that's why, like, if you're going up there telling people where you live and all that, I'm like...
Well, see, that's the thing, man. When we fill out those little cards and say our name and address, can you put it like a different name and address? Will they know?
Some guy did it at the council meeting. He even said a fake name on camera. You didn't care, It's like,
I mean, I guess there's no way for them to check, right?
Exactly. They ain't gonna check your ID when you walk in. So
okay, so I might do that. I just want to speak.
I do.
I want to speak in general, but I wanted to really. We need to pound that in home that there's a big difference between home shares and the.
Yes.
We need to really put that in their heads.
See, and I want to do that. And because I did, we do need to do that. Because I did see on their site where they literally said, if you were trying to rent out part of your home. But I don't know. See, and also because that's a very tricky language there. Part of your home, like there's someone who comes to our meetup who owns a house, but has another house behind his house, which is on the same property. But And I think he's safe because he's on premises.
So. Yeah, same property, and just like a lot of the mother-in-law suites that they back in the day, the houses came with the separate little mother-in-law suite in the back.
And that's exactly what his house has. It's a whole mother-in-law suite. It's pretty much an entire house.
And I think that's. I don't think they'd have a problem with that as long as you live there.
Yeah, you live there, and plus, if anything, home share hosts have. I guarantee you haven't had one complaint. They're home the whole time. What are they gonna do? Throw a party? They ain't gonna throw a party.
Well, I mean, unless.
I do throw parties with my guests. I had one about 2 weeks ago.
I've been to the turn up. I know.
Yeah, I've been to the turn up. I've turned up with my guests before.
Well, here's the thing too. Not to be giving ammunition to the city, but there's, I guess, you could say that there's people that will rent out their house as a home share, and then as soon as they get there, they bounce, or they're not even there, and they just, what I'm saying, they go like you telling me about your buddy that he goes and stays at an Airbnb while he rents out his Airbnb. So,
yeah, he does.
There could be issues there, but
what he does is he'll rent out his entire place and then revert it by going and staying at a private room. So there's people that do that too.
Right.
Home share hosts, I definitely would. We definitely got to put it in their ear that hey, that we're one, we are citizens of Arlington. Two, we shouldn't have to pay $1,000 for anything unless everyone in here is going to pay it. You have to make them kind of see where you're coming from on that. The only thing I could see them coming back with is like parking. That's about it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But even at that, if you have your people coming over for Thanksgiving, that's parking.
There's a Catholic church right across the street from me, and every Sunday they park all up and down the street.
Really?
All in front of my house. Yeah, I should ask for their SUP.
Need a SUP to praise God.
Jesus got his SUP. That's wrong. Forgive me, Lord.
No, but I don't know, man. I think we should drill it in their head, but take a little bit of a back seat instead of don't be the charge of the fight.
I ain't putting my address, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But
I'll put your address. I'm just
kidding. Don't be the charge of the fight if you're a home share guy.
And I did, because on that group we have a Facebook page, and I did mention that, not to point any fingers at anybody, but I said probably the people that shouldn't be speaking at these council meetings for us as representatives are the ones that don't live here and they own like 5 houses here. That's exactly what I mean. No offense, I don't see nothing against it. I mean, those 5 houses they built up, I mean, they fixed up crack houses and made the whole block good. That's awesome. That's great for the city. But the other team sees it as, it's someone that don't even live here buying up properties and then starting these party houses, and it just doesn't look good. You know what I'm saying?
You just don't want. You don't want the home share to be mixed with the dude who the investment guy.
Well, I'm cool if it's well, like I said, I guess first and foremost, I want the people that I would prefer. I think it would be best for us, for people that spoke for us, to actually be Arlington citizens, Arlington residents. You know what I'm saying?
You're trying to meet the red in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to. Yeah, it just looks better.
I would meet the red in the middle.
Yeah, it just looks better. Saying, hey, I live here. I live here. I work, up the way, and I just want to rent out part of my house or whatever. I don't know. I just showing that, hey, I'm a resident just like you. Yeah. So I'm gonna take care of my house. I'm gonna make sure it's good, and make sure the whole city's good, the whole neighborhood's good. Yeah. I'm gonna keep my eye on it because I live in Arlington. I don't live in Honolulu,
Hawaii,
and rent out.
Shout out to my boy in Hawaii.
Yeah. What's up, man? And so thanks for getting us in trouble. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's what I'm just saying. As far as it just how it appears, it would be good. I mean, like I said, and I have nothing against remote hosts. I'm a remote host.
Yeah, me too.
Not in this city, but
me neither.
But I just think as far as how it appears, especially to the red side, and how it appears to the council people, it would look good as just if mostly home share people spoke. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Especially that little old lady they did an article about.
Yeah.
Remember I sent you? I put that article.
You posted it today, right?
Yeah, and it just talks about this. I say little old lady. It's an elderly woman, and she had a mother-in-law suite, and her mom, of course, she was taking care of her mom in her last years, and she passed away, and so they just had that empty mother-in-law suite. I think it was her niece that told her about Airbnb. Let's put it on Airbnb. She's like, "What's that?" Don't worry, I'll come over and we'll do it. And they put it on the computer. Next thing you know, it got a listing, and she started. And then the first guest that came through, she met him, and they left her a nice, thank you card and gifts, and she just started meeting people from all over the world. Our society sucks about dealing with older people. I think, as a whole. I mean, they kind of get kicked to the curb, and it's just the result of a busy society. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got kids, or people got kids. People got, the kids are in sports, the kids are in school, the kids are in this. I mean, there's so much stuff going around, right? Still, all year long, and the grandparents, they're not as big part of the life, like in a lot of situations, and so they get lonely and they're there at the house, whatever. But I mean, I think that's where Airbnb is pretty cool, because they get to have people, have company. They get to show people the city or tell them about it, and they get to a little extra cash to pay for whatever expensive medical stuff they need to buy, that Medicare don't cover. And I think it's just a win-win-win all the way around in that situation. Yeah. And if we could get that that elderly woman to speak at the council meeting, I think that would be great. I mean, that would just show a really positive side of the whole Airbnb argument.
Is she in Arlington?
Yeah, she's in Arlington.
Oh, yeah.
I sent her I found her on Facebook. And I sent her a Facebook message and a friend request, but I haven't heard anything yet. So I might have to open up a Yellow Pages.
Oh, yeah.
They're all still in there.
Yeah, I mean, we could get a home share host to speak on it, but you also got to let the home share hosts that do speak on it know to kind of not. It's going to sound bad. No offense to the remote host, but you got to distance yourself from them. Let them know you're in a different business entity than them. Meaning you live on your property. You're a totally different business model. And I think...
I know a great way to do that.
What?
We all, we got our blue shirts. They got their red shirts, right? When we're up there at the podium. Yeah. Well... I'll say purple because it's a blending of red and blue, right?
Okay.
And underneath our shirt, we'll have the purple. And when we start speaking, we rip them off like Hulk Hogan style. And we're the purple people eaters or some stuff like that. The purple remote host people or home share people. I don't know. I just trying to be funny, but yeah, I mean, maybe not that drastic, but just to show. And
we're in the middle on it.
We're in the middle. We're purple. We're purple.
And so I got a bunch of purple in my closet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. LSU. And the Lakers. Yeah. And, but yeah, maybe that's a good idea. We should have some purple shirts and say, hey, no offense, guys. We love you. We are you in a way. But this fight right here, let's not let them go too far on this.
Yeah, like remote hosts have a different fight than home share hosts. Like, that's why I tell people, if you start a home share, you have really nothing to worry about. They can't, and that's what I'm saying, even to the remote hosts, you don't know how they're going to enforce that SUP. You don't know. So that's why I agree, go down there and fight, make sure they don't try to put anything too strict out, but when they do, just kind of check the enforcements a little bit and be like, okay, how are they going to enforce this, But it's going to be interesting. But and this conversation's for every single city out there. Know the difference between home sharing and remote hosting. It's a big block of a difference. So
that is true. And real quick, we talk about Fort Worth and they pretty much banned it, but people still do it. Yeah. Do you ever see Dallas trying to go and ban Airbnb?
Yes.
And why do you say that?
It's inevitable, man. Look how many Airbnbs are in Dallas right now. Well, I don't know though. Well, yeah, I could. I
can see them try.
But it ain't gonna happen. It's too many people that arbitrage in Dallas.
And that's the thing.
Too many apartment complexes.
I mean, if you've seen their city council meetings, oh man, they don't even know how to educate their kids in Dallas.
Oh yeah.
And so that's probably dealing with Airbnbs is probably way on the back burner.
Yeah. Dallas got too much other
They
stuff
got
going on.
crime, they got homeless
Yeah.
problem, they got, I mean, you name it, Dallas has it.
Dirty Dallas. Triple D.
Dirty Dallas. Fort Worth's nice and clean in the downtown area, but Dallas, man, you gotta watch your back, man, walking through Dallas.
D-town. But no, I mean, I could see it, but I don't think they get anywhere with it.
Yeah.
Especially for what I do. I don't think they've really ever shut down arbitragers in certain complexes. I don't think they've shut them down.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. I could see it coming though for Dallas because I mean, if you look at those 5 phases, Dallas is probably in that third phase, that surge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it could happen.
My buddy Sammy, my African buddy from work, I told you about him a few times.
Yeah.
And he told me today. I saw him today, and he said, "Yeah, I just bought a house in Grand Prairie." I guess it was his agent told him about someone was going to sell it, so it didn't hit the market.
Okay.
I think he got a good price. From what I hear, they said he got it for 150, 3.2 in Grand Prairie, which is on the other side, close to the stadiums in a way, And I was like, well, when I was asking him about the price, he's like, he kind of, I don't want to say. I was like, why not? What's wrong with saying the price? He's like, okay, about 150. He's like, yeah, I paid cash. I was like,
150 cash? Whoa! He plan on living there?
Sammy's had 2 jobs ever since I known him. He's been He's like working. He's a working dude, and so he has like 4 or 5 rentals. He does long-term rentals. But he
didn't buy 3 houses with that 150?
That's what I was gonna get at, man. We're gonna go into a little bit financial talk real quick.
Okay.
And I was like, I was trying to explain this to my cousin because my cousin works with me, and I was like, wow, I can't believe he spent $150,000 on a house. Bought a house in cash. That's just crazy. And he's like, why? That's clear and free, right? That's good. And I was like, well, let me tell you a little bit about the velocity of money. So I started trying to explain to him, I was like, okay, he's going to buy a $150,000 house, and he's hoping to get $1,500 a month rent on it. I was like, that's how many months is it going to take just to make his money back, And that's, okay, let's say, with the taxes, blah, blah, CapEx, he's going to clear $1,000 a month with a paid off house. I'm being generous. I might be being generous here. So $1,000 a month. So that's going to take 150 months just to get back to even, right? Just to get back to his $150,000 investment back. I'm like, I could get a house for 3% down and start renting that thing out, after I move out of it. And I'll be cash flowing pretty quick. And I'll still have my cash in my bank, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'll let someone else pay for that house for me. Mm-hmm. And plus, with that cash, I could buy 5-10 other houses,
Straight
and
up.
I'll have all those houses cash flowing. I'm saying it's the velocity of money. Why would you tie all your money up into one house? And what
All
happens
your
if the
eggs in one
market?
basket.
What happens if the bubble pops tomorrow and it's worth $90,000? There goes all your equity. I mean, just gone overnight.
For real.
And so I was just, I thought that's how you would react. He paid $150,000
Well,
cash.
He's African?
African dude, yeah.
What part of Africa? Nigeria?
Yeah.
I know. I know. My boy's Nigerian. He's like that. He's like, nah, buy everything cash.
That's how he talks. That's how he talks.
I know.
He's us.
I buy everything cash. My boy Slim. Shout out to my boy Slim. He tell you I buy everything cash, bro. New Bentley cash. I'm like, dang, dog. He for real. He pulled up my house, an $80,000 Bentley, bought it cash. I was like, dang, okay.
Dang.
But that's their culture though.
That's their mentality.
Yeah, that's their culture. It's like cash, everything cash. Like, dang.
Man,
I can't drop that 150 though, bro.
No, man. I want to hold on to that one.
Yeah, that 150. I'm buying at least 5-6 houses, 5 houses minimum. You know,
still have money in my bank.
Yeah, I at least have 50 G's left over, man. But yeah, I mean, no, that's just some people's mentality, though, man. 150, I couldn't do it.
Man.
Oh snap! Somebody's trying to book my new Seattle place.
Uh-oh, you got a new Seattle place.
Yeah, downtown Seattle studio condo, baby.
Wow, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, Seattle. I just got that. Yeah, I'm in Seattle now.
Do they allow Airbnb?
None of my business.
Damn remote hosts.
Yeah, remote hosts. Nah, but I got Seattle and I got Portland coming. So my entire Northwest family, where I'm from, I am coming home.
So that's part of your timeshares out there. Okay, cool.
Yeah, those are building, and I'm building right with them. You know, so.
And so, other than that $99 fee, they ain't tried to mess with y'all's business too much.
They have. So
what else are they doing?
Okay, so the $99 fee is extra BS. So okay, some dude asked me to extend the other day. So I was like, okay, whatever, you can extend. Then I get a call. Assistant's like, no, they said if he extends, he has to pay another $100. I'm like, wow. So they let him know, and so yeah, that's the only part. But other than that, everything's been cool.
Wow, that sucks.
I know.
Damn.
But
there's no way you could I'm just thinking out loud here. You could tack on a few extra days, and then if it comes that he's gonna move out on his original move out date, you can just retract him, and it's not gonna hurt you.
You could do that, but it's too much. It's too much time involved in doing it.
Damn, that sucks. That hurts you.
Yeah.
I mean,
if he was like,
better.
"Oh, that's fine," but it is what it is.
Well, you could say, "Hey, I'll pay half of it." I mean, if he's gonna extend for like 3 or 4 days, it's worth it, right?
Yeah.
Say I'll pay half of that fee. I don't know.
That's true. Something like that. But yeah, they tripping out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they tripping.
Well, they just see there, and but I give them this. They've noticed what was going on. People making money off their stuff, and they didn't go and cut it off like Arlington's trying to cut it off. They're just okay. We're just gonna take a little nibble. We're just gonna take a little piece, to let you keep doing your business, like the mafia. You know?
Yeah. There it is.
They're not gonna go shut down your business. They want you to stay in business. You just gotta give them a little bit money under the table, man.
Yeah, they gotta pay them extortion costs.
Exactly. Oh man!
But yeah, you gotta pay them extortion costs. But no, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not really tripping on it, man. But like I said, I think I said it last week. The Price Labs is working, man. It is the truth. If you ain't on Price Labs yet, you better get on it, because it like I've been seeing, like, I don't know if people are listening to our podcast, but like I've been, ever since Syed came on the show and talked about that, all over like the Airbnb professional hosts, everyone's talking about Price Labs, man. I use it. It's the truth. Also, I've been taking a lot more guests. I've been taking a lot more bookings out of Airbnb's platform.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I got a guy who's staying now, and he's about to book a whole week outside for like $400 outside of Airbnb's platform, just for a private room.
Hell yeah.
So I'm with it. So
hell yeah. Speaking of Airbnb professional host page.
Oh yeah.
I got kicked out of that group.
And they all thought I would be the first one to get kicked out, It ended up being Steve.
The funny thing is, I did run it by you first, and you said, "Yeah, you should do it."
Oh yeah. I think we talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it.
I was gonna post. I forget. I don't know exactly how my post went, but I was being satirical, right?
Yeah.
I was just I got on there. I don't know. One day I just had this freaking thought, and I said, I was being satirical. I was being funny because y'all know us. I mean, we're freaking mine. I got called a racist, and I'm freaking Mexican by a white person. Isn't that funny? That's how it was working nowadays. Was it a Mexican? I don't know. But there was several others that said it was racist.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. That's how the game works.
Yeah, exactly.
Hit that flip script on you. Hold on, what you just
flip
said?
The script. You don't know me, homie. And so what happened? I just had this thought in my head. I said, man, I should say this. It should be funny, because it was a big issue right now. And people all over that group were talking about that new Airbnb policy where they didn't show the picture before they booked. Now
we got to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. And so at first, that's how Airbnb did it. They didn't show the picture of the people, before before you actually hit accept. You just saw a blank, whatever picture. You didn't see anything, and so people were pissed off about that. Well, I want to know who's going to be renting my house and blah 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 blah. And pretty much they've been saying a lot of racist stuff without saying it, but saying it kind of thing, kind of like, oh, you want to see, you see their name, you see that they got 5 stars. What's the problem? What do they want to see? I was just gonna point out the elephant in the room, and then I got kicked off the damn thing. Yeah. So I said, so I made a post one day, just sticking in my head. I got on there and I said, hey, I kind of like the new policy. It's kind of fun, like playing a game or something. That people request a mystery person requests your place, and you go and you accept, and then boom, you get to see their picture, and you're like, yay, it's white people. Oh man, they went off on me, dude. On me right away. Anger faces. That's racist. Blah, blah. I'm like,
no, I went on there and I said it. It's the truth. That's why they made the damn rule. Y'all know it is. I mean,
that's why they made the rule.
Yeah, that's why they rate the rule. Let's not be on. Let's not try to sugarcoat it here. Maybe the dude who posted the little thing with the black dude in the hat, maybe he was one of the reasons Airbnb was in there surfing. It was like, maybe we got a problem here.
Is he gonna do drugs in my house?
Yeah. So hey, I don't know.
So I pointed out the obvious in a lighthearted, satirical way, and I got kicked off by the overreacting moderators, I think. Yeah. So anyways,
speaking of that, now the no picture thing, it's BS. They ain't sending through no pictures after that accept button's pushed. I've had instant books and accepted requests. No picture ever came through.
Yeah, my last one was the same way. It was no picture before, and I thought after I accepted it, a picture was going to pop up, but nothing popped up.
You always got to read Airbnb's fine print, because what they're doing is they're going to do something that they know the host doesn't want to do. Remember what Airbnb said? They said you can request it after you've accepted.
After you've accepted.
Yeah, you can request their picture. So this is the BS part. You really think, well, a host like me, I'm not about to request every person. I really don't give a damn who you are.
Yeah, it's just weird anyways.
Yeah, exactly. That is a weird thing to do. But I've noticed now out of the last 3 guests, one of them did have his driver's license uploaded as the picture. So I don't know. Yeah, Airbnb put that little fine print in there. You can request it. Meaning you're not going to know who's coming to your house unless you... and I don't even know how to request it. I don't know if you do it through the messaging system or what.
You say, hey, send me a picture.
Yeah, man. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't... Yeah. Like, what kind of crap is that? Send me a picture. Like, hold on, bro. Send you a picture? What? What you got going on, man? Yeah, for real. Like, especially like a home share host, that'd be real weird. Hey, can I get a picture of you? Yeah. Wait, what? Cancel reservation.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was kind of a humorous thing that went down. But hey, did you post our episode on there?
I got to do it, man. I haven't had. I haven't been on Facebook in a while, man. I've been the last week or so. I haven't been on Facebook. But no, I got to get back on there. But so everyone's jumping ship in Arlington, right?
Yeah.
So I had a deal come by. There's a deal we've been working on for the past 8 months. This lady has 2 Airbnbs, one close to downtown Dallas and one here in Arlington, and we haven't been able to close the deal because she was waiting. I guess she was making her money off of it, while she could. So she comes back last week, and she finally was ready to close the deal on both units. And she's like, look, I'll take $1,250 a month for both units. You guys just pay me $5,000 up front for each unit. I'm like, dang, that's a hell of a deal.
Okay, so you're paying her $5,000 a month.
No, not a month.
Oh, she
up front.
Oh,
I'm gonna buy her business.
Her Airbnb business.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it
from Arlington.
Arlington. Well, okay, it's me and my business partner, right?
Yeah.
She went and found the deal. We're gonna pay her this. We're gonna give this. The deal is we're gonna give this woman $10,000 cash.
Yeah.
We get both her units. I get one. She gets one. I pay $5,000. She pays $5,000. We both get a unit. I take the one in Dallas. She takes the one in Arlington. So I was like, cool. $5,000 a month, and then I pay $1,250 a month for 2 years on a 2-year lease. So I'm like, dang, that's a hell of a deal. I paid $5,000 to $7,000 just to start one up. Comes with all the furniture in it.
So she was arbitraging these places.
No, it's hers.
She owns them. Oh,
Yeah.
and she'll continue owning them.
Yeah.
You're just gonna arbitrage them.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it.
I see.
I'm taking it, and I get a 2-year lease,
Okay.
and I only pay up front $5,000, and then I pay $1,250 a month on a 2-year lease. Good deal, out of this world.
Okay.
So she closes. She comes back to us. She's like, "Hey, I'm ready to close on the deal." My business partner, she's running the show because I'm just the backup man because I know how to run the operation. She wants it to be passive, and she knows I know how to make it passive. But she's going to give me the entire unit. So she comes back. She goes, "Hey, we're ready to close this deal."
You didn't want the Arlington one, did you?
No, this is what happened. This is the funny part. My business partner, she's like, "Hey," she said she's ready to close the deal. My business partner didn't know what was going on in Arlington. She's like, "She'll give us both of these for $10,000. I'm like, "Cool, let's do it." My business partner comes back to me, and I told her, I'm like, "Hey, we can partner on the Dallas deal, but I said you may want to find a way to make a deal with her. If Arlington passes the SUP, she has to go and pay all the fees for it." Okay? She's like, "Cool." She goes back to her. The lady who owns the unit, she backs off. She's like, "Well, I don't know. I don't really know if I want to pay that." So I'm thinking the whole time, like, oh, she knows. That's why she's ready to close. You know, she's like, "Okay, I'll give it to you for 2 years." So when she does it, she's like, "Well, no." She backs off. And then my business partner, since she found the deal, I was like, "Man, just go ahead and take the Dallas one." Clearly, she was trying to get over on you because you didn't know the rules. And I told her, and then she was like, "Oh, no, screw that." You know, so people, like I said, people are jumping ship on Arlington due to that. And that's another thing I was going to tell people, a good business model. If you don't have a lot of capital to like just go and start an arbitrage, find people that don't know how to do short-term rentals, who don't know how to do it passively, and buy their business. It's people that'll do it.
Huh.
That was an example. I was going to buy her business.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of shady. She's trying to dump that
that's
Arlington
what it
one
was.
off.
Yeah, that was real shady.
It was real shady. And what I've noticed, just what, like I say, I keep track of the Zillows and the, Realtor.coms and stuff like that. But like you even said, people are trying to sell their houses in Arlington now, the ex-Airbnbers. And I've seen, it appears to me, some of them, they're trying to rent, turning them into long-term rentals, right?
Mm-hmm.
But some of the prices they're asking is like $1,800, $1,900 a month. I'm like, bro, you can't get Airbnb prices on these long term, man. That's a little bitty, $1,500, $3,200. That's just, I guess they're accustomed to making a bunch on them.
They don't know how to. They were never diversifying, and they're trying to hop into a market they're not really.
Unless they overpaid for the damn thing.
That too. I don't think people overpaid. I think that's that theory that you came up with. You're making $5,000 a month. You can't go back to making $1,600 a month and be comfortable with that.
Or $1,200 a month.
Yeah, you're not about to be comfortable with that. Because you're going to start. This is why. That's why the Syed episode was so important. He said he had put all his money back into the business. Those people, man, you're making $1,000 a month off your rental property. You might start using some of that change to, be some of that effort money, you know what I mean? So it's gonna be hard to go back to making $1,200 a month. You're making $5,000, you know what I mean?
Go from steaks to ramen noodles.
Yeah, man, that ain't that life, man. I remember Master P said it one time. He goes, "Yeah, man, I can go back to being broke because I know what it was like to be broke." He goes, "Most of these people I live in Hollywood with, they ain't never been broke before. They wake up broke, they ready to kill themselves."
Damn.
He said, "I lived with rats, roaches, and grew up on eggs and rice." I was like, "That's true, man. You grew up like that." You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I think that's what it is. You get used to living that high life. So.
Hell yeah. Speaking of long terms, I already told you about it, but yeah, I'll say it again for our listeners.
Yeah.
So my art house Hearst over there in Hearst, it's been doing pretty good. This month has been killing it, dude.
Oh
just
yeah.
Like it's just crazy. And
you raise your prices for Thanksgiving?
I do the automatic pricing. It was higher for Thanksgiving. Yeah. For
what'd you use?
Beyond Pricing.
Oh, you got to get off there, man.
It's not good.
Price Labs.
Price Labs. I'm gonna get on Price. How much do they charge? You said.
I think it's like, for you, it'd be like $10 a month, if that.
Okay.
It'd be like
okay.
$8, something like that.
So it's not the.
They're charging me like 101 a month.
100. Okay, for all your
Well,
things.
for the few that I use it mainly with my arbitrages.
Okay, so I need $10 a month. That's pretty good, and I'll make that back easy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do Price Labs. But anyways, so yeah, it's been doing pretty good, and so these young dudes that are they're in town. They I met with them and everything. They're in town to go to. They're like a Christian school or Christian Bible school. I don't know. There's something like that over there in Watauga. You know Watauga, right?
Go ahead.
You know Watauga, right?
Yeah, Watauga. I had someone from the meetup comes from there.
Okay, cool. Well, apparently there's this like a religious school or whatever that they're in town to go there and stuff like that. Yeah. And so they were asking if they could rent it from January to April, right?
Yeah. And
they were telling me, yeah, we're just, we like your place a lot. The price that Airbnb is quoting us is this, and is there any way you can do a better price? And I was like, I said, you know what? Find me, go to the interwebs and look up Art House Hearst and get in contact with me on the FB,
Yeah.
And I don't want to give Airbnb away. They're gonna start blocking everything, right? Because
on the FB.
Yeah, on the FB. I separated it too, and because Airbnb, they block out like if you put a phone number or an email address or a website, they block all that shit out because they don't want you dealing directly with the potential guest. And so, because they don't want these, behind the scene deals going on, they want to get a cut of everything, right?
I do them all the time.
It's exactly, and so you just say, "Go find me." You tell them, "Go find me." And so, anyways, they found they're younger, 20s, so they know how to use the internet, and they found me right away, and they went to the. Okay, here's the tip of the day, tip of the year. We always say this, but you have your own. Airbnb. Go make a Facebook page for your Airbnb. Yeah. At
Google
least do that, because then you could meet. People want to do long term. You can meet with them. You can talk with them directly. And so I told him to hit me up on there. We agreed at a price, and I, of course, I love Myka because he's a consummate businessman. And right away, and I was telling him, hey man, I got this great deal. It's the slow months, and I agreed to let him, rent it out $2,200 a month. And to me, I'm thinking this is a good deal because it's the slow months. You're like, man, you should try to push him for $2,500. And I was like. And right away, I was like, man, he would have probably got that shit too. But that's the difference between Myka and me. I go for the safe, base hits, double maybe. Myka's trying to knock it out every time, man. Trying to knock it out of the ballpark. And that's cool. It's just, we're just different, I'm just worried about paying the mortgages.
He said I probably would have got that shit too.
He would have got that. And so anyways, I met with them. They came over, nice kids. And we're gonna meet up again on Friday. They like the house a lot, and so we're gonna meet up again on Friday. Do a $500 deposit. I'm gonna write up a lease for them and everything, and they're just gonna sign a lease. And I told them I want to get the first. They're gonna move in January, right?
Okay.
I said I want by Friday have the $500 for the down payment, and by December 1st I want the full month for January payment.
Okay.
And I'm saying the reason I'm asking for it so early is because I don't. In case something happened or y'all flaked on me, I wouldn't be at January 1st, and y'all say we can't come up with the money, we can't do it. Then I'll have that whole month blocked out, and I'm like, well, I can't. I'm gonna miss a whole month of freaking bookings because you guys.
Got a couple hustles for you on that. Go ahead though. I got a couple hustles.
So anyway, so that's how I'm gonna do it. They're gonna pay a month in advance for the month that they're gonna stay. So they're gonna stay 4 months, $2,200 a month. And it's the slow months, and so I was like, man, that's really cool. It just worked. It seems to work out pretty good.
Did you run a background check on them?
They had just the Airbnb 5-star rating, whatever.
Ooh, no. If you run a background check, half the people on Airbnb have some bad credit and everything else.
Oh, really?
Yeah, run a background check. Use Cozy.
Okay.
Yeah, run a background check on them. But I always do. So what I did was, I'm going to show you a little situation I'm in now. Remember I was telling you I was about to go knock on my condo door? Dude finally hit me back. He was like, oh, yeah, I'm checking out next week or whatever. But so checking out, this dude came up. He found me on Airbnb. He was like, look, I want to rent your place out. And he was like, I need to stay for a month. And it was one of my places, one of my condos. And I was like, what are you in town for? Who are you? He was an IT project manager. I'm like, oh, cool. That's what I'm looking for. I was like, yo, I can give you the whole place. It was like in the middle of the month, and I had already made some money. Made my money off of it. And I was like, hey, I'll do $1,900 for 30 days. He's like, cool. So I ran a background check on him, everything. His credit was a little low, but background, everything else all clear. And he's like, look, I got the $1,900. Shot me the $1,900. Gave him the key. Boom, he was in. He checks out on the 23rd. Gave him a lease and 30-day notice. Same day, bam, signed the lease. Got a 30-day notice. He's out. So yeah, always run a background check. As far as blocking your calendar, this is what you do. Airbnb is caught on to corporate renters. So if you block your calendar consistently for like a month or 2 months or 3 months, if you block your calendar in a 30-day segment, they flag your listing, meaning they drop you all the way to the bottom. So I found a way to counter that. Like, for example, if I have someone in for long term, I skyrocket my prices. Like right now, on 2 of my private rooms, my rooms are between $300 to $1,000 a night, so I know they won't get booked. So yeah, but it keeps your listing up there. So then what's going to happen is when those days are over with, and your listing goes back to the regular price, you shoot right back up to the top. So Airbnb doesn't flag your listing; it just looks like a really high-priced place. So that's what I was going to tell you to do. Don't block it. Just make your listing $2,000 a night. Nobody's going to book it.
Wow. And so, yeah, how do you discover these things, man?
Just playing with stuff, looking at some. And I have so many listings. I just play with stuff, and I'm like, because I'm going to tell you how I found out. So my room B, it's been booked for like 8 months by a corporate client. He checked out, and it was kind of slow at first. I'm like, what the hell's going on, So what I did was I went into Airbnb, and I just, for like a week, I turned on price tips, kind of get it clicking again. So I was like, man, what the hell's going on? And I'm like, I wonder if me being blocked, if it messed up my search ranking. So I logged into a dummy account, and I searched Arlington private rooms, Superhost. All my listings were at the top, A, M. My other room wasn't. I'm like, oh, see what they did. So what I did was now I just boosted it back to the top by using price tips. And now if I have a corporate client, I just raise the prices. I skyrocket the prices.
Wow.
Yeah. So don't ever block your calendar. Just keep your calendar open. Just make the prices $2,000 a night.
Myka is the Airbnb scientist.
Nah, man, I'm for real. Like, then I talked to another guy about it. He goes, "Oh yeah, I was having that same problem. I do the same thing." I'm like, "Yep." I was like, I had to figure it out. I'm like, there was something weird. Like my listing was slowing down. But yeah, and I tell people all the time, a lot of people don't do that. Now, one advantage Airbnb, Beyond Pricing has over Price Labs is that health score. That health score by Beyond Pricing is legit. If your health score is like in the green, you're gonna get booked every time, guaranteed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you're gonna get booked.
Sweet, man. We're just burning through this episode. So much great knowledge in this one. What do you think?
Yeah, man. A lot of good stuff, man. So I had a guest similar to your guest.
We're at about 57 minutes. So
go ahead.
Let's do one more segment and we'll call it an ep.
Okay.
I think it's a good place to stop. Sometimes we go way long, but anyways, I think it's a good place to stop. And if you're thirsty for more, just wait till next week.
Yeah, we got some good information for you.
All right, go ahead. You had a guest like my guest.
Yeah, man. I had a guest check out 3 hours late.
Oh.
Luckily. See, and it's one of those ones where I'm remote, you know what I mean? And it's a whole house that they're renting out. It's my house in Little Rock. And it really made me think, man, I have to, because my cleaner is my aunt and my mom. Your cleaner kind of has to know the Airbnb and how it works. Luckily, I didn't have a check-in that day. So what happened was, the guy, it hit 12 o'clock. my mom texts me, and she goes, "Hey, your guest is still there." I'm like, "Did you talk to him?" She goes, "I knocked on the door. Nothing happened. He didn't answer, so I just ran to the store real quick." So I'm like, "Ran to the store?" I'm like, "Okay." So then she goes, she went back over there. She sat outside, and she said when she finally got into the house, he was taking a shower. You know, one guy came to the door, and the other dude was taking a shower, and she was like, "Man," and she said she just kind of sat around, and I told her, but she told me when she first drove by the house, the dude was standing outside, but she didn't say anything to him. And I'm like, it was already 12:30? She's like, yeah, I figured he was packing up and ready to go. I'm like, and I had to like explain to him, I'm like, hey, if you guys come by here and I'm talking 12:01 and they're sitting in the house, you go holler at him. You like, look, man, it's time to go. I have to do a cleaning. So, man, he ends up checking out at like 3:15, man. I was like, I'm so happy I didn't have a check-in because I would have charged him. He left me a 5-star review, though, but I would have charged him, man.
That's messed up, man. Time is money.
Yeah, it is. But, I mean, I got lucky, you know. But, you know, it is what it is.
So, man, great advice. And the greatest piece of advice of this show was that if you're going to consider doing outside of the system and doing a long-term with somebody, don't block your calendar off. Jack up the rates, you know, to $1,000 a night or whatever you said to do, and it won't put you back at the bottom.
Yeah, there you go, man.
And then so much, man. This is cool. It's good. It's good linking up with you again.
Definitely.
And we learned a lot in this episode, and we had a pretty good time and a pretty good sober time. So we're gonna end it right there. And we'll probably roll another episode after this one. What do you think?
Oh, we can't, man. I got
y'all
plenty more
have
to
wait,
talk about.
Yeah, next week to listen to that one. But so we hope y'all are doing good on y'all's Airbnb journey. We're you know, I'm not perfect at it. No one's perfect at it, and but you just learn every time. And you, I mean, like Myka, like I said, he's the mad scientist of Airbnb.
I'm just learning, man.
Living, letting, and thriving. So thank you all so much for listening to this episode. Sorry we didn't go on for an hour and a half, but it's a good, you know, we got you to work. All right, what else do you want from us? Jeez.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it was a good episode. We're gonna have another one popping out here soon. Remember, you can catch us at Live Let Thrive. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and check the Live Let Thrive fan group out. We're on there as well. We need some more
Twitter,
people. Twitter,
we're everywhere.
Yeah, we're
Spotify.
Twitter, we're everywhere.
Not Spotify, I'm sorry. We're on Stitcher. We're on SoundCloud. I'm starting to put the SoundCloud out there.
Yeah.
And so a lot of youngsters use the SoundCloud.
Yeah, they do.
So that's
by the
free.
way, we're gonna be rolling out some LLT merchandise. We got to get that going.
Oh snap!
Yeah, we got to get that going, man. But
merch.
man. Yeah, some merch.
So yeah, well, thank you for listening. Keep living,
letting,
and thriving.
Peace.
Later.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.